This is Jason.
And Katerina.
And today we want to talk to you about our kids' chore list for the summer of 2018. What we decided to do is to make a list of chores for Katerina to accomplish a few goals. First of all, we wanted her helping out around the house. Second of all, we wanted her to continue practicing her reading, encourage her to keep practicing her violin, get her to do things that she generally doesn't really remember to do often, but to have all these things build up to a specific goal so that she gets excited to do these chores. One of the other things that we wanted this chore list to do is to encourage her to take ownership of her chores. So, what do you think of it so far? Do you like it?
I think it's pretty good. I like it so far.
Yeah. And so far we've seen like a big difference. Like she's excited to go do her chores because she knows that she gets points for each of the chores that she does. Mommy checks off to see that she actually did the chores. And then
once I get up to a certain point where I get to go on my tablet or I get to eat sugar.
And then every time you use your tablet, we take away those points from your bucket of points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we start off fresh again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to get up to like 3,000 for sugar or
2,500 for 30 minutes of your tablet.
30 minutes of my tablet or half an hour.
Okay.
And it's like easy for me because if I do a lot of chores and I get my brain going instead of watching my tablet all day long, and after I watch my tablet for a long time, I'm like tired.
That's not just tired, but you're moody also.
Moody. Like
Yeah.
Really moody. So what I want to do is I want to take a break from that time, take away some time from that tablet, and use it to help my mom around the house. And if my brothers make a mess, I have to clean it up. Well,
Okay.
that's what it says.
Yeah. Well, it's not word for word. It doesn't say, hey, your brother's made a mess, so now you have to clean it up. But
No.
you do get points for cleaning up
I
your
do
brother's.
get points. So when my brothers make a mess, I want to clean it up so I can earn that time on my
In
tablet.
general, let's go ahead and take a look at what this chore list might look like.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an example. This is like the first rough draft of Katerina's chore list. Ding! So straighten it up right there. And then as you saw, we had points for each of the chores. So I kind of want to give an idea of like how we come up with the points for each of the items on this chore list. First, we wrote up everything that's in that chore list. All right, so we wrote up everything that we thought was possible for her to ever need to do. And the chore list just keeps growing as we come up with ideas. And that's what you want. You want the chore list to be alive, to take on shape as time goes by.
One thing I want to say, if you want, you can mix up, or you can do it in order.
Right,
You can
absolutely.
do it any order you want.
So that's part of we want the child to take control over what chores they want to do. So they get to pick and choose. They don't have to do everything in order. But they also get to practice their math skills because they see they need X amount of points, and if they only need a few more points to get there, they'll go ahead and knock out some easy chores. If they have they have to fill in that gap, they need to get a lot of points done, so they'll look at all their big chores and they'll say, I'll knock out those first. So it kind of gives them some control over what they want to do. So like we said, the first thing that we did was list out all possible chores. And then we looked at a certain set of them. We said, okay, after she gets this X amount done, we think this will equal to a certain amount of whatever. So in her case, we said that she gets no tablet time. She only gets 30 minutes on the tablet after she hits X amount of points. So we said, all right, first, if she gets, let's say, half her chore list done in a day, that equals to half an hour of tablet time. If she's able to do everything on her chore list, she should be able to do 1 hour of tablet time for that day. So that was first. List out everything on the chore list. The next thing we did is we did sort of like this idea that we have in software development where the team gets together and votes on certain amount of points per task or chore. So in this case, we sat down and we said with mommy, we said, okay, so chore number 1 was brush teeth and wash face. And we all voted. I voted for 1. You voted, I think, for 1. And then I think mommy voted 2. We took the average of those, which came out to like 1.33. And I just sort of multiplied everything to 100. I wanted large number points so that way she can practice her math on large numbers. So we came out to 133 points for that chore. So we did the same thing for all her chores. Obviously, vacuuming the first story of our house, that's pretty big, so that ended up becoming like 400 points. How many points for practicing your violin?
566.
566, right. And how many minutes do you have to practice your violin to get those points?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. So we time everything too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's how we came up with this final list. Somewhere towards the bottom, you'll see we made we did a few other ideas down here. For instance, bedtime. How many points do you get here? Come closer to daddy. How many points do you get if you go to bed at 1 p.m.? I mean 7 p.m.
1,000 points.
1,000 points. That's a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We did this like 3-4 days ago. Have you gone to bed at 7 p.m. yet? No. Maybe we can increase that to 1,500 points.
Ooh, 1,500.
Yeah. Okay, so 8 p.m., you get 500 points.
500 points.
9 p.m., you get how many points?
No points.
0 points.
0 points.
If you go to bed at 10 p.m., you get negative 500 points.
Yep.
And 11 p.m.?
I lose 1,000 points.
Right, you lose 1,000 points, correct. We also needed you to start drinking more water. So every time you drink a cup of water, how many points do you get?
150.
150, there you go. So now the next question is, after you have your list of chores, you have how many points they're worth, you want to give a goal, right? A certain amount of points towards something positive that she gets in return. So in this case, we started off, we'll just talk about the tablet time, 2,500 points for half an hour on the tablet. That's great. We gave a goal to use all those points towards. The next step is how do you keep track of all the points that you've got going on. So this one is really, really messy. But again, this is just the first draft, and we'll show you the first day right there. Let me get it on the camera. And right there, perfect. So you see we came up with 3 columns. One is the chore number, one is the number of points that she did for that chore, she gets for that chore, and the third column?
For the check marks that my mom checks off.
Right, because we can't just sit there and say, oh, you know, she says she did these chores, someone's got to check it off. In software development, we call that peer reviewing. In this case, mommy or daddy is going to make sure that you did a good job in all the chores.
They're going to check.
And they're going to check it off, which means then you officially get those points. And yeah, you know, she started off her first day with 0 points because that's how you start off, from ground zero. All right, so then what happens?
Then slowly when you do more stuff, like the first day that I did number 1.
Number 14?
Number 1, 14, and
15.
15.
So let's look at that. Here's number 1. Here's number 1. Brush teeth, wash face, 133 points. And she had also gone to bed that night at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
So that's where the 14 comes in. Chore number 14, we see 8 p.m., 500 points. So here we go again. Her first day, she did chore number 1, 133. Chore number 14 at 8 p.m., she got 500 points. And chore number 15, 150 points. So then, those points carry over to the next day. So here's her next day. And as you see right there, her points carried over, 783. And then she continued on her next. Now that we showed everybody how we created the list, how we created the chart to keep track of all your points, what do you want to show them next?
How I do my chores.
You want to show them how you do your chores?
Uh-huh.
All right, well, let's go do that. So what we did is we purposely made a mess in her room.
Make bed and clean room. I just had to make my bed, but I wanted to also clean my room, so I made it a bit of a messy room.
Now let's be clear. The only reason why you made a mess in the room wasn't so that you can clean it up again and get points today,
No.
because your room was already halfway clean.
Yeah.
All you need to do is your bed, and you'd still get the full, what was that? 433 points. So it encourages you to keep your room clean. But for demonstration purposes, we made it a little more messy so that we can do a little quick, fast video of you cleaning up your room.
Yeah.
So let's go do that.
Okay.
Okay, so what did we just do?
I did too. Make bed and clean room.
All right, so let's show the list. Hold on, before you write, let's show the list and show what we got going on here. So this right here is today's date, and we're showing here how many points her date is starting. Today she's starting off with 91 points. Yesterday she had finished off the day with 4,091, but she wanted to have a nice little slumber party with her brother. So he got to sleep in her room, and that cost her 4,000 points, which means she finished off the day with 91
points.
All right, so today you're starting off with 91 points. First chore you did was number 1, which is worth how many points?
133.
133. Okay, so now under here, we just finished making your bed and cleaning your room, or you did. So you're going to put a 2 under your chore. Explain, what did you just put there for points?
I put the number chore and how many points it costs.
How many points that chore is worth, right?
Yeah.
Now I come along and I'm saying, hey, I was there, I saw what she did, it turned out great, so I'm going to give her a little check mark. That means today, so far, now she has number 2 chore worth 433 points. How many points do you have so far today?
566.
566. That's great. But you forgot how many points you started off with.
Oh, yeah.
So 566 plus 91 is? Nothing.
You said the answer.
So go ahead and do your math right there.
Plus 2
Is
is 6, and then
So you have a total of 657 points.
600, yep.
Now the day's not over, so she's got plenty of chores that she can keep getting done. But that so far is the system. I don't have this cleaned up yet. I don't have it in a spreadsheet yet, but I'm going to do that next, and I'm going to put it in the comments below so that any other parents want to download a sample, they can, and then just fill in all the blanks. Sound good? Yeah? Did you like this so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I heard her brother wake up, so it's time to wrap this up. We'll see you guys next time. Say goodbye.
Bye.